Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Starscape Guides. Now, in this episode, I'm gonna basically be going over the first steps of what you basically need to do, or at least some things you can do, after you've done all of the starting tutorials that I showed in the previous episode. Now, at the end of the last episode, I actually went ahead and told you to make a choice through the ships that were available in the ship vendor. I have gone ahead and chosen the Aurora and the Hyrax, because I will be able to get anything else I need within this episode to show you a couple of things. Basically, if I go ahead and go to ships, this costs 2,400 credits. I had 2,490. Hence why I have 90 credits left over. Hyrax 800, Aurora 1,600. Chose the Aurora because it's a balanced fighter, and I chose the Hyrax because it's just cheap and useful and can do missions and unlocks an entire new ship type for you. I have previously recorded this episode, so when I assembled these ships with the Hyrax, because it's a hauler, there's usually a small tutorial. Because I've already played with the Hyrax in the last recording, which of course is unlisted because it's a little old, not exactly short. It's actually longer than the previous episode, which I did not want at all, so I went ahead and cut it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and just basically, I would recommend that you definitely get the Hyrax, because it's just extremely useful and can be used for spice hauling, faction hauling, hauling missions, which are all pretty good things. You can get you a decent amount of money, or some LP, or something like that, or standing. Anyway, go into Citadel now, and go ahead and start. So, just double check I'm in the right place, right? No. Where is the correct docking bay? So, you're gonna come in the land. Now that we're in the Corsac field office on the lower level, I'd go ahead and dispel harass. Now, say you're looking for work, and this will come up. Basically, I'm going to start off with the hauling missions. I'm going to do them very quickly as I can, and I'm going to edit down. Essentially, it's the office supply run. The field office at the Citadel's running out of stuff, so you got to go fetch something in a system of which it seems is Nadvel, or if you look on your map, it'll show you. Origin is where you want to go first, then you want to go to the destination after you go to the origin. Anyway, you pick stuff up from the destination system. Alright, now you're in the system. Got your office supply run. It's pretty simple as this one. There's another one which is, I think, like a outpost supply run or something like that. Instead of an office supply run. which is pretty simple. It's basically just an inverted version of this. I'll hopefully be doing that as the next mission. Now, as you'll see, when you pick stuff up, you go slower with the high ones. This is 21 meters a second per crate, meaning there's a total of, 84 meters a second slowdown when you're fully loaded. All crates. Which are the things attached to the side of the ship. And these are square bits. And you've got to walk back to your destination, which in this case is Citadel. Alright. Go to the cargo dock, it should be yellow, and deliver your fuel. You get 500 credits, and 20 standing, assuming that you've not done anything. Right, now, if you have stuff loaded on your ship, any cargo on your ship, and you attempt to enter station, you will not be able to. Hopefully if I get the right mission next, then I'll be able to show you that quickly. Right, back to the missions. You can basically spam enter and you'll just be able to get it. Now, if you do F and enter spam, then you'll get into this, and it's just freaking insanity. Anyway, it doesn't really do anything. It's just a glitch that's pointless. Sadly, I don't get the mission I want, so I guess I'll go and do a different one in the meantime. I'm gonna go ahead and do... Defend the transport is the most simple one. Now, you'll want to use your Aurora for any combat missions. So if anything gives you combat points, you'll probably want to use a fighter, like the Aurora. Like Defend the Transport, Law Enforcement, they're both combat missions. That's his Embassy, which I think is through Aegis. Yeah, Aegis or Guard. I'm going to go through Guard for once. Not been through there in a long time, apart from when I just was there. Alright, in the system, what to defend the transport? For some reason, there's a little bug sometimes where the icon doesn't actually show up on the... it's like a HUD or something, I don't know. Basically, there's a transport, you can't kill it as far as I'm aware. I will demonstrate that right now. As I've just done an entire full burst and the thing's taken no full damage. Anyway, if you want, you can read through this, but I'm just gonna complete this as fast as possible. The Classic Transport's actually had a model update. It used to just be a dolphin, but apparently it's had a little bit of model update. Don't know when, to be honest. Alright, I'll tell you, hostiles means nothing basically. They're drone interceptors. A Stratos can kill these, but it can also easily die if you're not careful. This is the most kind of just boring, in a way, of all the ships, but it's also not boring all at the same time, because it's combat and it's much less boring than other stuff. I say not boring at all, but it's just less boring than other stuff. So at first you will just find like fighters, a couple of fighters. You'll find a Corvette, maybe, sometimes. You might get a title. I've already done a mission or two of this earlier while doing my last recording, but it was way too long. I've already said that, but yeah. Basically, you get a tiny bit of loot from the combat missions because you kill stuff and they have small loot rolls. Unless, of course, you're killing something massive, like, well, not massive necessarily, but if you kill something like that's rare, I guess, or it's an event, like a drone founder, a drone depot, or something like that. Oh yeah, I should have remembered the ability modifier. Three waves goes 2, 3, 4 enemies. I'll go ahead and walk. You can go all the way back to Citadel. These missions are the most simple. Go ahead and just kill a couple things and then go back to Citadel and, well, report it. Go ahead, press off F on it. And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get the second only mission now. Sadly not. There is one with exploration. I think I'll do this one for now. For this, you will want your Aurora, as it is another combat mission, although it's more of a... well, it's just not really. Last combat mission was exploration points. Anyway, NATO7, don't know what that is. Is that triage based? Yeah, it's triage based. Alright, this is a long mission, so I'll basically just quick warp a lot. Yeah, this is simple. Read through the stuff. And then go to the next place. Which is probably like 3-4 jumps away or something. Probably 4, I think. Like 3. 3. Come on. This is a little longer than all the others, so it's only really good if you want exploration standing, and even then it's usually better if you go to, well, not two, but you do them slightly higher tier. Ambushed. When I arrived, they disabled my ship, salvaged what remained, and left me for dead. I was able to track their warp signature using what little power remained. If you follow it, you might be able to recover the intel. It's fun how that's a literal knife jaw. A really old knife jaw. And, like, just... it's a knife jaw, it's not a Corsair ship, so... yeah. Anyway, let's go to intel recovery. Basically, ships kill them. Why does it call out another fire? Another fire. Okay, cool. Return to Citadel. Anyway, showed you a bit of mining there with the Badger. That is the ship that I'd recommend getting if you haven't already gotten it. What else? Gonna go and do this mission because I can't find the other hauling one. That's it. You'll generally get quicker at like warping and generally using pretty much anything in the game. The longer you play the game. If you're a little confused by me being, well, basically not saying anything for a bit, I accidentally had myself on mute. Sorry there, but I hope everything still goes fine. Anyway, kill a miner. You can do too. I'm gonna try and do too. They're using breaking point defense. Oh no, they're too powerful. Yeah, it's near impossible to do it, but you can do it. Anyway, around you should see some yellow squares. Go to the yellow squares, press F to reactivate them. They're proximity alarms. You need to be within, what, I think 300 or something. You'll get away with things to kill you, or at least try to. Of course, here I am obliterating them, because they're pirates. They know nothing about piracy somehow, even though they're pirates. They're NPC pirates, they're just useless. They have like 1/10 health or something. The last time I actually only got one wave of pirates. Anyway, pretty simple. Activate the alarms, kill some stuff. Go back to Citadel. Alright. Time to go and turn in the mission and grab a tractor. After that, I'll do a little bit of mining in Secure, just to show you like how the miner can work with a tractor beam. And yeah. That'll be pretty much it for this episode. There'll be a couple choices. I'm gonna try and make it so that if an episode travels on to the next, or like links to next, there'll be a little bit of a choice. Just to, I guess I just feel like it's cool. If you did get the badge though, then essentially you can just mine, or you can use the hauler to do missions, which both work. Now, if you want to know how to change a point defense turret, this is probably the most important bit of the video, other than how to do missions, I guess. You go on here. Now, I've had people that are just like, but I'm clicking on here or here, and it's like, there's mining beam detonator. With this, look here up a minute. It's about 50% higher. Same ice yield. And the max range is higher on this. This might have a capture ratio, meaning you can AFK mine and get 65% of your ore. But, you know, that's like 6.6 ore a minute, whereas if you are active and you just buy a tractor beam, then it's extremely similar, but you have a higher range, and you can get, like, double the amount a minute. Anyway, how you do it is you click on here, and you click tractor and confirm. Simple. Done. That's how you get your tractor beam. Yeah. Don't change this. It's not really that useful to change it in any way. There are modules for this, but I recommend you don't get modules for your tier 1 ships. I'm going to go ahead, spawn the Badger. And this is something that really shouldn't be happening, but it is a little bit of a spawn collision error. Fixes itself pretty quickly. Or easily. Essentially, I'm just going to go to a random secure system. I don't know, maybe UMIB or... Yeah, UMIB. I'll do UMIB. Alright. Wrong system. Alright, so in UMIB, there's a lot of different systems. There's a lot of different There's a lot of different planets. I'm going to show you how to use planets. First, system probe. I may have already shown this. I don't think I did, though. Yeah, it's pretty simple. UMIB's good because it's decent size, 8 planets, and half of them are ring planets, so they have a chance of aberration spawning. Basically, go over these white things, white circles. They are literally just planets. Question mark means there's an aberration there. If an exclamation mark appears, then it means that there are enemies there. Or at least an enemy kind of event, I guess you could call them. Such as a drone fleet, or a drone foundry, or a pirate hen. So that's all the planets done there, the simple and easy one. Is it just me or is this something here? No. Anyway. If you go around the system pretty randomly, then you should be able to find, at some point, an aberration. Not an aberration, an anomaly, sorry. Like, here we have a wormhole. I might actually show that. Anyway, you can click on the planets and it'll show it. Okay, so we've got an aberration at every single ring, as well as 2 at planet 1. There'll be about a 20 to 25-second cooldown or something on your probes until you can use the next one. You can launch it. Scan all of the aberrations at a planet. Alright, R455. Let's go, let's go. You can actually make the stuff kind of half clip out of the UI. Oops. Anyway, if you look around for a little bit in a ring or an aberration like this, then you should be able to find something like Correlite or Rectite or whatever. It'll have rarer ore, like this is superior, so it's actually just straight up 3 times better, because superior refines for 3 ore. Of course, I've immediately forgotten that I have a tractor beam. Right, this is how tractors work. You press F on it, it'll tractor in. Now, if it's not within the tractor's area of range, or whatever you want to call it, it won't tractor it. But if it is, basically if it's above your tractor, it will tractor it. Makes the game much easier. While using the small miners, I actually like to go into this mode. As it means, if I keep all ore above the top of my crosshair, it'll be sucked in, and I know exactly where. I'll probably overly go down a bit, but yeah. Sometimes if you do really weird maneuvers, then you can get stuff to just disappear. Well, not disappear, but like miss. I really don't say the correct thing all the time that well. Come on, come on. Oh yeah, as you can see, I've got 20 superior also. Let's see if we can make that 30 or something like that. It doesn't really up your mining rate, but if you're not being as efficient as you can with your mining gun, which can sometimes happen if you're trying to get all of the ore before you do the next shot, something like that, then it'll probably improve your mining rate by a couple %. But otherwise, it just kind of makes it more convenient for a pretty low price, and means you can manage quite a lot easier. Now, I will say that the Starscape Discord server is currently in read-only mode. It's not had an update since April of 2022. So, yeah, it's still better than it was, but it's really kind of old. There's also been multiple major community figures that have left in the last like 6 months. Including someone called Coordinator. I didn't really know him personally, but he was manager of the Citadel Link. Yeah. Said I'd get 30, but you know, I'm getting way more than 30. Anyway, as you mine more, you get more titles and stuff. I'm not being as efficient as I could be here. And for now, I think I'm gonna actually just go ahead and stop mining. I've mined Correlite and Correlite only so far, but you can mine other ores. In Secure, I'm pretty sure that goes up to Axnet. Axnet's pretty rare, but if you get an aberration with some, then it's not like the rarest thing ever. There's then also Correlite, Reknite, and Gallium. I think I saw some Gallium as I walked in here. Gallium is very rare at the like warp points of places. I will also say that Secure doesn't have inferior ore, only Core does. But yeah, it might have just been me not seeing them right. But yeah, there'll be extremely rare amounts of Gallium. You can of course use system probes, not system probes, planet probes on different planets. It'll discover different aberrations for each planet. Occasionally you'll get the same number, but it's kind of rare. A little bit of a bug there. For some reason, if you launch a probe and then let go of the click button after you've launched a probe, and after you've gotten rid of the probe menu, then you'll shoot. Anyway, pretty interesting though. We've got Aberration R615 and Aberration R999. As far as I'm aware, there's not really much of a thing with what spawns where. Is this Correlite? Might be Correlite. No, Reknite. Yep, so Reknite there. Let's see the other aberration. More Reknite. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to Citadel and I'm gonna refine. But before I actually go back to Citadel, I'll show you a wormhole, I guess. So, the wormhole anomaly. Currently this one is UMIB as of the 16th of the 1st, 2023. 6 minutes to 7 p.m. That is GMT, aka UTC plus 0. So, anomaly, this one is 1 to 48 hour collapse. Period. You can't just go inside of it. A thing I like to do sometimes with these is just this. And then pretty much line up. It feels to me like I'm going faster. It's much better when you're actually in a slower ship that goes like 150 meters a second or slower, or pretty much anything that goes below the speed of like a Corvette, maybe 200 or lower. Anyway, this is a wild system, so you can permanently die, as it will say here. And by permanently die, I mean your ship will be permanently destroyed. And anything in your inventory. Wild systems, though, do have the rarest loot. Now, this has most likely been discovered by someone before me. But it's not like with the low player counts these days, comparatively, we're gonna have an amazing amount of stuff. I mean, so occasionally you'll find someone on the other end of the wormhole, which is just gonna kill you. But those people are rare these days. Nearly died in a shroud one time about a year ago. Do a random pirate. Essentially, it's basically a teleportation across the map. So like I'm all the way up here, whereas I was all the way down here. So if I go back to the system that I was in, I've gone 22 jumps, and I'm in a mid to deep wild area. I can go back quite easily. Warp disrupting will not prevent you from going inside of a wormhole, which is pretty nice. Didn't actually know that when I was in the shroud, so... But it wouldn't really help me. I didn't actually die. Now that's basically wormholes. They teleport you to a different place on the map. I'm gonna go on refine. You can refine in different systems if there is a refinery, an industrial station in that system, but I prefer to go back to Citadel to do so because, well, or anywhere that I'm pretty sure I'll be there soon, or I'll like log off and then log back on those, or stuff like that. I'll actually go ahead and just quickly... Pretty sure that's a refinery, right? Yeah. So, like an example here, you can go to the refinery and just refine your ores. Different types of ores will take different amounts of time to refine. Scrap terminal is where you scrap stuff. Scrap is something that you basically should always refine. It'll give you some pretty low tier stuff. Like, it's not much comparatively, and it refines the quickest, I'm pretty sure, out of. So I'm gonna refine one here. It takes maybe less than a second. Or like, same one each, pretty much. Skills will improve your refining rate. If we're going to skills and industry, then you'll be able to do that. Reduces your job, but this will increase correlate yield by 1%. This will do it by 1% as well. So if you get both the respective one for your ore, like XDM or Reckonite, Narcore, etc. If you get this up, then the amount of level on here will increase by the corresponding percent, and same with this. This increases your resource yield when scrapping. This increases your mining laser and turret release rate by 1% per level. This sadly doesn't affect detonators. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go for probably... refining. Anyway, this is done. As you can see, you get a little bit of stuff. You can get up to red narcore with this, but it requires several hundred at least scrap to be done to get it. Now, I'm gonna store, and I'm gonna go back to Citadel. I'll show you the quick manual tractors on the way as well. So you can manually use tractors. If you look in the bottom right, then right here, left click of course will be that, and right click is actually a tractor, which you can't see when you're completely leveled out, but it does tractor. If you do it like this, then yeah. Anyway, I'll go back to sit on. Now, so far, I've gone ahead and I've shown you all mining and missions, of which I've done combat and all the missions. Now, essentially, if you want, you can go out into secure systems and go around and do some hunting for drones and stuff, but yeah, it's a little bit hard to find a decent amount of drones insecure. As you can see, you can get quite a bit of ore with stuff like Superior, and Pristine gives you 4 ore each. Superior 3, normal 1, 2, sorry, Inferior 1. For Axnit, normal is 1, Pristine is 2. For everything else, there is only a normal version of which gives you 1 each. Here, I'm of course going to get about 120. It's going to be 169, I think. That is not intentional at all. And yeah, I've got a bit of ore. Now, options. You can go ahead, you can continue grinding your missions out. Like this, pretty much just go in and select your mission. These will reset periodically. I think it's like every 15 minutes or something, or every 10 minutes. And choose from the pool of 5. Defend the transport's the easiest for combat. I'd say get that one if it comes up. And do resupply the outpost or office supply room for your commercial ones if defend the transport doesn't come up. You'll of course need your hauler. Now, that's pretty much it for the end of the video. If you get enough standing, you'll be able to buy these. If you want loads of money, then you can just go ahead and buy loads of holo projectors and sell them on the market, on the upper level. They'll sell for 500 each, which essentially means that 25 to 500 credits in LP2 credits gets you, what, I think 40 credits? 20 credit, one moment. 20 credits per LP point. It's the highest cost-effective thing for that. You can also just continue mining and mining out pretty much anywhere you want. You won't find many people anywhere other than maybe in somewhere like Ganser. I recommend you don't go there until you have a pretty good grasp of the game and you think you're good at combat. Because you can quite easily find pirates there. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next episode.